so glad that you asked this question. This is something I love to talk about. This cage right here is a cage that we used to have our first Budgies in. And they're really angry right now because she's out. It's what we used to have. It is very small, as you can see, and I only use this cage now as a carrier if I need it. Just to show you how big it is, this is a Cockatiel, so she's like bigger than she's like about as big as my hand. Bigger. You can just sit there and that's it. So there's really not a lot of room for anything in this cage, but not to worry. If you have a small cage, I'm not coming after you or anything. So I think it's not the end of the world if you have a small cage, just as long as your bird is not in their cage all day. But hear me out. First, a lot of people think, okay, I have a bird, they have a small cage, I'll just let them out, they'll be out all day long and do whatever they want. And here's where it can get dangerous and kind of tricky. Well, sometimes we have other animals like dogs. Me, for example, I have a dog, so I can't have my birds out all the time. And I have to have big cages for them to be in, and they also have this whole room that they can be out in without a dog or cat being in here. So that's something to remember. If your bird lives in the main part of the house or something, that they'll be able to get into everything. So you'll want to make sure that your bird isn't, able to get into everything if you decide to let your birds be out most of the day. If you're not able to get your bird a bigger cage at the moment, it is possible to have a small cage for them. But if they're not tame and you can't do it safely, then I don't recommend it, because if they're not tame, that means they're going to be in their cage all day. And when they are out, it's just going to be more like not fun, more torturous than fun to them and reinforcing. So if you have like a big area and they're pretty much just sleeping in their cage at night, that's okay. But fortunately, a lot of people have jobs, a lot of people have school, so that's not always the case. So even if maybe you are deciding to let your bird be out all day, I still recommend that you get them a bigger cage, because it's just better. And if there was, maybe you got sick or maybe you have to be gone for the day, they have a nice big cage that they can be inside. But if you are someone who's new to having parrots and your parrot is not maybe tame yet, she's looking for seeds. If you have parrots that are not trained yet and they're still scared of you, and you have a small cage and you feel overwhelmed with all the things that you're trying to learn and change, for the first few weeks or days, it's okay to have a smaller cage until you get them trained. I'm not saying that you have to wait either, but you can just, kind of go day by day and see how it goes, see if you get them tame enough where they can be out more. But again, I still recommend having a cage just because it's safer for them to have somewhere that they can go and play and be safe if you have, like, again, a dog or maybe kids in the house. So yes, most bird stores, parrot stores, or even like Pet Smart or whatever have these small cages. Really? Thanks for the hairdo. Okay, you can sit right there. If you say you want a bird from their store, they recommend a cage that they have in their store, and purchase and toys and seeds and all of that. And I am here to say pet stores do not care how long your bird lives. They do not care if you have a big cage or a small cage. They do not care what your bird is eating or if it's even tame or safe when you get home. They are just trying to sell as many birds as possible to make as much money as possible. So don't take advice from pet stores. Most people do come home with this setup, and that's okay. If that's where you started, that's where I started as well. It's a rookie mistake. We all have been there. So I figured I would show you what my birds' cage setups are. Now, I'm going to be honest, my birds' cages are not perfect. I'm a perfectionist. They're not how I want them to be yet. I'm still working on them and still trying to get them better and better. And it's just one of those things. It's always a process. You can always improve. My microphone wasn't working this whole time, so I'll just go over this real quick again. So I got this cage from Amazon. I absolutely love this one. One thing to keep in mind when you are shopping for Budgies or, whatever parrot you're getting, you want to make sure the bar spacing isn't wide enough for them to come through, because Budgies can squeeze through holes and they'll get stuck or whatever. Make sure that you get a bar spacing that is small enough that they can't come through it. They can't get out because this lock is right here. The story I've had of them escaping is I've accidentally left this door open and Skylar came out and was like sitting on top. It was really funny. Anyway, she was safe and fine though, so don't worry. My cages aren't exactly perfect, like I said, so still wanting to improve them. I have some wooden perches, and I do have this swing right here with bells on it, but I don't recommend putting bells in your bird's cage. The only reason that is in there is because they sleep on it, and they can't really reach it, and they don't really take interest in the bells. So if they were to take interest in the bells, I would take them out, just for health reasons. I get stainless steel bowls. I still need another one to go right here. So that's that cage, and I absolutely love it and would love to get another one so they can each have their own. Then over here, where the budgies think they rule, is Miss Kaya's cage, and she, once again, the bar spacing, she can't get through it, and I got it from Amazon. Absolutely love this one as well. And she can't come out or anything because it has this lock that goes in and out. Now, if you have a conure and you're looking for a bird cage, I don't recommend this cage just because it is big enough for the conure and big birds like that, but they will be able to open this latch, I believe, if they were to figure it out, because they learned from watching you do it, because they're bigger and they have feet and they can reach through and grab and pull this in and out. So they would be able to get out. The only time Kaya has gotten out is when I forgot to lock it one morning because I was really tired and delusional. It's kind of funny as well, but don't worry, she was in this room, so she was safe. Make sure I don't step on any birds while I'm doing this. So once again, it's not perfect. I would love to put some more stuff down here and some more perches. I have wooden perches in all of my birds' cage, so no like dowel rods or anything like that. I recently got this perch from Amazon right here for them to like chew. It's like popsicle sticks or whatever, and the wood they can chew, but it is on the outside, and they can only be on it like when I'm in here supervising them, because as you can see right here, Amazon didn't do a good job and they have like glued the popsicle sticks in. So if they were to mess with the glue, I would have to take it out of here. So she has toys and she needs some more wooden toys in there. But that is her cage. Again, got these cages from Amazon, love them. And they will be linked in my link tree in my YouTube bio. So you can just go to the top of my TikTok, click my YouTube, and then click my link tree, and they're in my Amazon. But one other thing to keep in mind when you are shopping for bird cages is to make sure that you never get those ones that are like super tall and go super low to the bottom, but they're like this wide, because birds fly back and forth. They don't fly up and down. So that's pretty much all I have to say about bird cages. Just make sure the bar spacing is good. Kaya's talking for you guys. Yes, so you heard it from Kaya. Be super, super smart when you're shopping for bird cages. If you have a small bird cage, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure your bird is getting out enough and has enough reinforcement. But if you can get a bigger cage, I highly recommend, and I personally like bigger cages for my birds. So I gotta feed them. I gotta go. They're going crazy and getting angry. So see you guys later. Say goodbye, Kaya.